live yet? Hey guys, hey, it is Zaylee. I have not been live or online for a while, and I have good reasoning for that. Okay, I have really good reasoning. So I'm just making sure that I am streaming to Instagram because I want to make sure I'm doing that. All right, I'm so excited. Okay, so first of all, I'm multi streaming. So I'm streaming on IG, I'm streaming on Facebook, I believe, and I'm streaming on what else? YouTube. So we are here. First of all, did y'all know we could stream using Ecamm now to Instagram and YouTube at the same time? Oh my gosh. Hey, Shaka. Hey, guys. Hey, I'm seeing all of you popping in. Hey, Amber. Hello, 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 everybody. So my screen is on the left side of me. So you'll see me like looking at my screen sometimes. So just letting you know. I think I'm a bit blurry, but I hope everything else is okay. I hope you can hear me well. Hey, Cara Body Fitness. Hey, Marin, what's up? What's up? What's up? I have no voice because I did an amazing training this morning. And so I'm like, all right, we're going to figure it out. So guys, I've been gone, step away for a bit, step away from social for a bit, and come back with just something that had been on my heart for so long. And I'm so happy that I've finally been able to launch it. Some of you guys have seen it before. Many of you have already pre-ordered, and I can't tell you how grateful I am. Super grateful. Like, just for you guys who have been here for the journey, and even people who have just met me and already pre-ordered. I'm speaking about my Camera Confidence cards. I am shipping out pretty soon. We're shipping out in the next 2 weeks, but I can't tell you how much of a dream come true this is. You guys know I've ran a coaching and consulting business for so many years, and now adding a physical product to it has been just exciting, liberating, hard, and all that jazz. But I thought I wanted to come on and share a little bit with you guys. I love that I'm seeing my people inside of my monitor here. It's just showing me who's coming on. I see the Savvy Accountant. I see Claudia. I have to share with you guys, Claudia saw me push out these cards. And what I did was, when I was creating my affirmation cards, I made my audience a part of the process, and I started cheering behind the scenes. And Claudia was like in there with me, like, I like this, that. And when I finally launched, Claudia's already confident on camera, but she I want to say donated 2 decks. So I'm going to give away 2 decks. I'm not going to give it away today because I still am working out the logistics on the back end, but just for her to believe so much in what I'm doing and like just sow and seed into this project. And let me tell you something, this is the beauty of the internet. Claudia has just been watching my journey and sharing and responding in stories and supporting. And that's the beauty of us being on camera. We're able to meet other people and connect with other people. That to me is such a beautiful thing. I do not take it for granted. So Claudia, thank you so much. I know you probably didn't expect all this on this live, but just for someone else to sow into what you're doing is always just such a blessing. So today I just want to talk about like what got me to the point of wanting to create the cards, who I'm creating it for, where we are in the process of it all. So I have not been online. I'm just coming through really. And I wanted to just go live today and share. Thank you, Claudia. Claudia, I feel your support through whatever devices we are on. And I just genuinely want to say thank you. Like, you heard my voice in my voice message. It was shaking. Hey, Foreign. The cool thing is I'm seeing people on the live right now who have also inspired me to get on camera and share. When I was, first starting my journey, there were people on YouTube like Foreign. She's in the chat right now. And they were sharing content, way back in the day. So definitely want to shout those people out, the people that I'm seeing here, people who inspired me to get on camera and share, even though it was in a whole different industry. If you don't know, I used to be a beauty blogger And now I'm in the educational space, coaching space. It's a space that I really love, but I just wanted to shout you out for, and I see you. She's 478 here on IG. I think I'm streaming on YouTube. I'm not too sure, but I'm not seeing any comments from YouTube. So let me just check on that and see if we're doing well, or if I'm streaming over there or not. Because I'm just reading I think I'm everywhere. I believe so. I'm just seeing the Instagram chat, but I'm looking at it on my computer. So if you're here and you're on YouTube, say hi. Let me know that you can see us streaming. All right, I see it. Ooh, we don't want an echo. All right, so let's jump into just what made me create these cards. These cards have been sitting where for years? In Canva. Okay, in Canva. It's been sitting in Canva for so many years. And every year, at the top of each year, I would tell my assistant, first of all, I'll tell my husband, like, I have this idea and I want to put it out there, and he would hype me up, and then I would just get into the business year and the desire to do it would get pushed to the back end. So it wouldn't go away, but it would just get pushed like somewhere, right? Like, all right, I'll do that when I have time. So it's been years, but the beauty of it is throughout those years, I've gone through so many changes and shifts as far as camera confidence and showing up on camera and building a business, building a personal brand, showing up online, selling, creating products and selling, launching. I've learned so much that I've been able to add to those cards along the way, right? So they started off as affirmations, and then they started developing into affirmations, confirmations, just prompts. They started like really adding up. And so this year, I actually attended a business retreat with Commit Action, and they are a company that I use for accountability. So I have an accountability coach named Nick through Commit Action, and we were in Mexico, and we were on like a cliff, guys, looking out at the beach, at the sea. Actually, there were whales in the water. It was wild, and we were sitting doing an affirmation. And while we were doing, not an affirmation, a visualization, kind of meditation, picturing like your year and where you want to be in a year and what you would love to accomplish. And I just sat there, and first of all, I just couldn't believe that I was on a business retreat in Mexico with my husband, who's also my business partner, around other people who are doing so well out there, learning, connecting, networking. And that was in December. So like for me, ending my year in that way, I couldn't take for granted like all of the things that I'd been through, right? All of the work that we poured into, all that we do, all of the people that we served along the way. I'm almost 10 years full-time in business, which is wild to say. And it's been hard, but if I have to be honest with you, it feels like when I look back, like it's been easy because I get to tap in and do something I love doing every single day, which is showing up and sharing. And so I really made some promises to myself on that cliff. Is it a cliff? What do you call it? I don't know. It's like, yeah, like if you jump off, you would be in the water, right? And coming into the year, I was so intentional about what I wanted to accomplish, what I needed to get out of me. If you are a creative, I know that you're sitting there with ideas that you have, things that you've had for years inside of you, wanting to release, and you have not been doing it. Let me know if that sounds like you. If there are things that you want to do, whether it is an online course that you want to release, whether it is a product or a book that you want to write, whether it is just something that you've been feeling the calling to do and you've been ignoring it, you have not been doing it. That God is like, I want you to do this, and you keep telling him like, yeah, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I promise. This was one of those things for me. And this year I felt the need or the pull to rebrand and really operate in alignment of what I know God has placed me here for. And I really genuinely have helped so many people to get confident on camera, change their lives, learn to sell on camera, learn to launch their offers. Like, I've done that, and I wanted to bottle that up into a physical product. And so I told myself, I can no longer ignore God telling me to release this product. Now, of course, I'm in the digital world. I've sold physical products before when I was just a blogger. I had a whole merch line. I used to sell t-shirts. I used to design and sew, guys. I used to create jewelry. I've done so many things. And so along the journey, I felt such a fear of coming back to physical products. Although, like, it's been so many years now, things have changed in the online space when it comes to physical products. I feel like when I was doing physical products or selling physical products before, one, people weren't doing it as much as they are now. It wasn't a thing as much as it is now. And so now I was like, oh my gosh, I felt like I was also holding on to trauma based on old physical product experiences. And so if you are holding on to any trauma or anything that you've been wanting to do, but you're counting or thinking about the whole process based on an old experience or idea, or based on somebody else's experience, I want you to sit with yourself and set your own brand new expectations for what you are looking to do. And so I had to do that within myself. Like, hey, this is completely different. First of all, this is my knowledge. This is my intellectual property. It's something completely different. I'm so clear on my audience. I'm so connected to my audience. This is something that I really, 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 really care about. And I know how my products can help someone else, right? So I had to start thinking completely differently. And of course that, I was able to integrate 10 years of business experience. So that was really helpful. And so I decided, all right, I'm going to get it out of the way. And so I did. I hired a designer to, start putting like our new branding together. And I was so excited, guys. So excited. I think I need to share this story separately. But by the time she came back with her idea, she had sold herself so much on all that she was going to do. And I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. Like, she's going to do an amazing job. First of all, she was late, and I can give grace for that. But when she came back, what she gave to us, I was like, girl, who did, like, how? Who did this? Was it like your little cousin or something? Like, I was so disheartened, but I was pushing through. I was like, all right, I'm going to have to get in my bag. I'm not a professional graphic designer, but I got to get in my bag and figure out like the branding and all of that. So I went all the way back into my bag and pulled out old skills and put like our color palettes together, put like inspiration for our logos and things together. And I started bringing it into fruition. And I also realized through that process is that God is asking you to do this, girl. Do it. Okay. You can do it. Like, get your hands dirty. You're the only person that really knows what you want out of this whole process. You have the vision for the idea. You have the vision for it all. Like, just do it. You can do it. So next thing, believe in yourself. When you think you can't do something, you absolutely can. Trust yourself, trust your gut, and do the thing. Put it out there, okay? Do the work that's required before you put it out there. So that's just another lesson that I learned as I was going through the process of doing this. And so I started putting it together and sending it to my team. Like, all right, guys, what do you guys think about this? And they would choose different things that they liked, things that they didn't like, palettes that they liked, palettes that they didn't like. And I took inspiration. You guys can't see my studio, now because we're on Instagram and I'm in a portrait video. But I took inspiration for colors from my bookcase that's behind me. It has all the colors of the branding in the cars. Like, it's just, everything was just coming together the way that it was supposed to come together. And I had to step away from social media to really nurture this process. Now, while doing this, we were also re-recording the Camera Confidence class, which is my signature program. I have an amazing mini course coming out called The Unique Method. That we needed to record that as well. And we were also in the process of building our apps. And if you've ever built an app before, it was a process. Okay. And so we recently, like 2 days ago, got both apps approved because you have to do iOS and Android. It's a lot. All while serving my membership, making sure that everyone in my membership, in the Brave on Video membership, is solid. They're okay. Like, I felt like it was a labor process for the past 30 or so days. But I came out on the other side super clear. Sometimes, lesson number 3, step away. You got to step away to get really clear on like what you're desiring to do. You got to step away to get really clear on what God is asking you to do. You got to step away to get really clear on your audience, what their pains are, what they're struggling with, what their desires are. Because when you are creating a product, all of that is going to come into play with what you are doing, right? So you got to sit still for a bit, and you got to block out like all of the things going on online. There's so much going on online, and we want to step away for a bit so that we can nurture our own ideas and whatever it is that we're supposed to put out there. So I was able to step away and get all of that done. We're still wrapping up some parts of the Camera Confidence class, which I cannot wait to share. But now I feel like I have such a cohesive product suite of things that all go together and are all integrated. And that makes me super excited. I want to talk about like later on physical products versus digital and how they can work together. I want to share about that. Anna Connie, thank you. So I have so much to share, so much that I've learned along the way. Of course, I would need to hear from you guys. Like, what are you interested in hearing about or learning and all that jazz? So I kind of want to go through. We're still waiting for one final round of proofs for our Camera Confidence cards. Well, just the box. We've already approved like all of the other aspects. But so what I'm showing you right now is our proofs, but I'm going to show you guys a little bit of like just what the cards entail and what they look like. I'm trying to find one that I probably have not shared. And you can use the cards in 2 different ways, right? So let's look at this one. I'm going to switch camera shots. Hopefully you guys are able to see. All right. So I'm going to just switch and I'm going to make sure that you guys can see what I am showing you. So our cards have a few different like colors. Ooh, this is where the fun of life comes in. Let's make sure we can see this. So this card says, I have everything I need to create and connect with my dream audience today, because we overthink so much. And it also says, despite my tendency to overthink, I'm committed to showing up and cultivating a dedicated following. A lot of us struggle with our audience and struggle with algorithms and feeling like the algorithm is either ruining everything or you understand it. It's either or, right? And so this card is just an ode to really centering yourself and understanding that you don't need anything else to create other than what you have and even what you have on your heart, despite your tendency to overthink, because my audience overthinks, especially when it comes to showing up on camera, sharing on camera, sharing your stories, when it comes to selling, like things like that. It can get a bit, difficult, especially when you feel like I want to serve a specific audience or I'm serving a specific audience and you're scared of like if Instagram is showing the right people your content, or if YouTube, if you're going to reach the right people. that can get scary, and you can start overthinking, what am I going to say? Like, is everyone going to understand what I'm saying? Are trolls not going to like it? There's so many things that pop up. And even as a coach, I completely get it. Now, the other way to use our cards is to ask yourself, what do I feel like I don't have? Because that's the case sometimes. Sometimes we feel like we don't have something. So you can kind of read through the card itself and ask yourself, like, what do I feel like is missing? What do I feel like I don't have? Right. And also, who is my dream audience? Because I like to keep refining that. And I love to listen to people that I speak to and make sure that I am really honing in on things that they say, nuggets that they share with me that I can use for content. So even asking yourself things like that. Also, even thinking like, I would read this bottom line and pull out like, what is making me overthink? Like, why do I have a tendency to overthink? Right? Why am I not committed to showing up? Like, what's getting in the way of me showing up? So the point is that you can use the cards in that way as well. It doesn't have to be only the affirmation aspect. It's also a prompt for you to do deeper work and really ask yourself, like, what's the real issue here? What am I really struggling with? Why am I not committed? Anakani said, thank you for sharing this because I wasn't sure how the cards were for me and my journey. And that's why I wanted to do this live, Anakani. Like, I wanted to come on and talk a little bit. And this is still not our official like launch, but here's the thing about launching a product: connecting with the people that really want it and need it, and like diving deep with them and understanding like what their thought process is while you're doing it. The beautiful thing about this is that I launched it along with my audience. I was sharing aspects of what I was doing with some of my audience, and their feedback was so integral to the launch of this, or just the creation of it, or putting it out there. So, think about it in that way. So another card would be, and they're not all yellow. I know. I feel like I'm showing only yellow cards. This one says, I am resilient. Each challenge I overcome makes my message even more powerful. This card, I made it because a lot of people are so scared about getting on camera and saying the wrong thing, not realizing that there's a lesson in getting on camera and saying the wrong thing, right? Each challenge I overcome, I read that part already. I trust in my journey, confident that consistency will guide me towards my goals. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because you have to keep showing up to get even more clear on your message. That's really important. Like, you showing up even more, like over and over, and making those mistakes is what's going to actually give you the answers that you're searching for when it comes to your audience or connecting with your audience, right? Hey, Carolyn, how are you? Y'all, I love my audience. So just, if you see me getting distracted and tapping in, it's because I'm seeing my people. Also, so I said that you can also use the card like as a prompt, right? So for this one, not only for affirmations, you can also use it to connect with yourself. So this one, I would ask like, why do I feel like I'm not resilient today? Like, what's getting in the way of how I, would prefer to feel? The other thing is like, what challenges do I feel like I'm processing right now that's preventing me from sharing my message? Like, why don't I want to show up? The other thing that I would ask myself based on I trust in my journey is, why am I not trusting in my journey right now? Like things like that. For me, I like to ask myself, like, what's making me insecure? What's making me afraid to share this specific message? Because that's where your answers are, right? Your answers are inside of you. And I'm a big believer of that. I believe that all the answers for success that we're looking for, we can blame other people. We can blame circumstances, we can blame experiences, but all of your answers are in here. So I love that I'm able to affirm what I want, but I'm also able to question, like, why do I feel this way? Why am I afraid to show up? Why am I afraid to get on camera? Like, ask yourself those deep questions. And I promise you, you will get the answer when you start asking the hard questions, right? So just showing you here, the cards do have like, we have like a bunch of different colors, which I absolutely love. I'm hearing the doggy outside. Can you guys hear him? Because I feel like maybe somebody's delivering something. So we have green. I love this one. I sell very well when I am live. Y'all know selling live is not the easiest thing. Claudia said, come on, Brave on Video Shopping channel. Yes, Claudia. See, y'all get me distracted now. I'm hype. But, I wanted to share these things because I felt like I wanted to come on and just share like a few cards. Obviously, I'm going to do card of the day. So I'll be live way more in this season, because I want to share more with you guys about how these affirmations changed my life. A lot of you have been following me for a long time and you've seen my life change in front of your eyes. Let me tell y'all something. I am a girl from the left side of a tiny island, okay? And I feel like every morning when I wake up, I'm like, wow, like, is this my life? Like, how did this happen? And I always tell you, one of the things that moved the needle for me in my business and just the way that my life is right now is video content and showing up even when I was scared or nervous. For example, because people think I don't get nervous. Today, well, this is my second time getting nervous. Right, for the day. And I'll say that because I was like, I want to go live, but I don't know if I want to go live. I didn't send an email. I didn't do all the things that I should do if I'm going live so that everybody knows I'm live and I'm going to have a lot of people on the live. And honestly, I didn't need all of that. I just needed to remind myself, if one person shows up, I can serve that person. And look at y'all here on the live with me. And I'm so grateful that people are here. Carolyn said, yes, when you realize it's just BS, you tell your girl, we be telling ourselves a bunch of ish, okay? And when we realize that that's not doing anything for us and where we would like to be, it changes things. And if I can't get on here, I know at times I'm my biggest enemy, okay? And if I can't get on here and be real with y'all versus the things I see online with people pretending that they're confident all the time, or, acting like they're knocking it out the park all the time, and when you meet them in real life or you connect with them, it's the complete opposite. I need to be able to come on here and be real with my audience. And if you've been in my programs, you know. If you know, you know. If you've been here, you've been here. I will always tell you guys how I feel, or, what I'm processing. Stories by Desiree. Hello. Stories by Desiree said, I love that you still went live. Yeah, it's okay to not do what we're supposed to do sometimes to make it work for us, especially if we feel moved to do something. Yes, I love that. Stories by Desiree. Now, what that brought out for me, what you just said, was just me sharing that that's where my cards came from. And so if I didn't do it, I would still be denying what I'm supposed to be here doing, right? And that wouldn't be honest or true or transparent of me to keep ignoring what I'm supposed to be doing and making excuses for it. So I love that. Stories by Desiree. Thank you. And honestly, the other thing is you guys make the live, like you guys make the videos, or you guys make the content that creators create. It's because of you guys that I'm able to share specific things, or, come out here and be honest and be transparent. And I know for myself that because of my journey, sometimes people will see me along the way and they'll see like all of the things that I've done in the now, and they don't know all of the things I've been through, or they weren't there when I was in my kitchen in Brooklyn making videos. They only see now that I have a beautiful, big, bright studio. I had to work, okay? One, but not only that, let's take work out of the equation. I had to show up exactly where I was in order to get where I am. So I had to film with no studio or anything. This happened through hard work. But I started from nothing. And a lot of you guys have seen me start from nothing. I used to be teaching courses in my kitchen in Brooklyn, right? We had a little tiny dark dining room, and I took that dining room and turned it into an office space. And I used to sit in there and sew, and get on camera and sell and all the things. So I know where I've come from and how hard I've worked. But what I love the most is the lessons that I can share with you guys along your way. Mentoring You LLC said, this is really helpful. I've been telling myself I'm going to start my podcast. I've been back and forth for over or not, whether to do in person or just audio. Mentoring You, just start. Just start. Hey, Ellie, congrats on your pregnancy. Y'all know how I do. I go crazy. Ellie, it's so good to see you. Sending you so much love. All right, let me see. Mentoring You, just start. Just start. Because guess what? Honestly, so you've been back and forth of whether to do in person or just audio. Just start with your audio. You don't know what audience you're going to pick up with your audio. Just start where you are and then do the harder thing, right? Which is going to be in person. Hey, Jamar. Let me see. Okay. Carolyn said, going live has taught me so much about me and my audience. This is my YouTube year because of you. Carolyn, thank you. My YouTube family is watching as well, guys. Well, Carolyn is on Facebook. Carolyn, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for being here. So I wanted to share the madness with you guys, and keep us updated. Hey, boo. Keep us updated. Let us know because I want to know. All right, guys. I want to go through like a few more cards just before I log off because this was so much fun. I'll definitely be live more as we go along. All right. I am attracting the right people through my video content. This one, I feel like I needed to create it because a lot of us, here's where we struggle, right? A lot of us are creating content and we don't know who we are creating for. So that's where this one comes in. And I think a lot of us want to create content, create videos, but we don't know exactly who we are looking to create for, literally, right? And so just trusting that you will learn along the way as you start creating. I think a lot of us think that we should have it all figured out before we start. Let me tell y'all, when I started getting on camera, I thought I wanted to share beauty and locks and things like that for the rest of my life, okay? And so I started, and as I grew, as my audience grew, I realized that people were asking me different questions. And, they were asking me about my set, my video, my content, my quality. When I was into beauty blogging, YouTube reached out and asked me, how could we support you? We're going to give you a channel manager. We are going to bring you out to YouTube Space in Washington, D.C. They were really building a relationship with me. And I was so excited. I was in the whirlwind of it all. And then God said, you need to switch. I'm not really connected to updating everyone about my locks and hair and all that. And I saw other people that were way more passionate about that aspect of things than I was. And I realized, I don't want to do this anymore. I love that I do have a channel manager directly connected to YouTube. I love that he's sharing everything with me to grow my audience. I love that they saw me and saw what I was doing and were excited to work with me. But I needed to let that go and pivot. And I'm telling you, it was hard because sometimes all we know is what's happening and we don't know what can happen if we take action and do something else. And so I was in a place of feeling like, oh my gosh, I am going to leave behind like all of these followers and these people that are coming to me versus thinking about, like the people I'm going to attract and impact as I go along. And so just staying with the process and trusting myself to pivot and trusting that I was going to attract the right people, that's where this card really comes in for me. So just reminding yourself that you are attracting the right people through your video content. Even when you post something and it gets no likes, trust that you are attracting the right people. Even when you feel like you are, nervous about what you're creating, trust that you are attracting the right people. But you got to stick to the plan, stay consistent, okay? So that you are able to. Also, so I told you guys you can use the cards as a prompt. I would look at this card and I would ask myself, like, why do I feel like I'm not attracting the right people currently? And you'll get the answers, whether it's that you're not consistent, whether it's that, you're not showing up authentically to attract the right people, whether it's that, that there's a message that you need to share that you are not specifically sharing, whether it's that you're doing what someone else thinks you should be doing, you will get them. You will find the answer. And I hope that as you're watching, you're listening to what I'm saying and thinking about your own situation or your own journey and getting your own answers as to why you're not being brave on video. All right. Let me see. Ooh, this is a good one, I feel like. So I got an email the other day, and the email was about someone saying, like, I'm doing well with video because of how I look. And y'all, that kind of triggered me, okay? Because even on my, days, I have my days where I'm like, I don't like how I look, or, I don't feel like I look my best, or I feel a bit sluggish today. I feel heavier this month than last month. I haven't worked out in forever. My eyebrows are not eyebrowing today. You are always going to be your biggest critic. But a lot of times we only connect video to the way that we look. For example, this morning, I was looking cute. I can't lie. I had a workshop and I had on lipstick and I had on a beautiful lighter colored shirt, that matched well with my skin tone. But as the day progressed, I threw all that off. Like, I was like, I need to eat, so I don't need lipstick. I was like, okay, like this white shirt, I'm going to be bothering myself about the way that I look. Sorry, I'm going to be bothering myself about like not messing my shirt up. So I'm going to take it off. And I threw on this hoodie, which I love. It's by Kalila. It says Feeling Divided. You guys know I love messing a bottle. And so I threw this hoodie on and I was like, all right, we're about to go live. Okay. When I got on camera, I was like, oh my gosh, my bun is too high. I look bald. I look like I have no hair. I was telling myself all the things, and I'm being really honest with you guys about which is why I'm going into detail. I'm telling you guys exactly the things that I struggle with, even though y'all see me on camera all the time. I still struggle. It doesn't mean that I know I have a message for someone watching tonight, even if it's one person. I was like, girl, get over it. Sit down, set up your system so that you can multi-stream and speak to your people. They're going to be there. And look at that. We're here, right? So connecting with with our daughters said, ooh, I love this one. Such a good reframe, right? Like, we are going to feel that way. So let me see if I can show it to you guys again. Y'all know I got to deal with the making sure the focus is there. The camera captures more than just my looks. It captures my essence, my expertise, and my genuine intent to help and inspire others. Okay? Let me tell y'all. Yes, Carolyn, I feel like we be on the struggle bus sometimes. So this one is just, that's what it's in reference to. And I can't tell y'all, like, these are things that we really struggle with. Stories by Desiree said, thank you for sharing that. Honestly, because you weren't excited about sharing your lack journey. I've definitely heard pivoting from other creators too. Share the message or story you're meant to. I agree, and I could have kept on doing it. I was, I was growing very quickly. I still have my old channel up. So even my current YouTube channel is my fourth YouTube channel. And it's just like, man, like, I was not passionate about it. And I saw other people who were really passionate about, sharing about locks and hair care. And there were actual stylists. They wanted to, create careers and legacies off of that. And for me, I didn't want to be a hairstylist. I didn't want to create educational content based on hair. I wasn't creating hair products. There was nothing that I wanted to do based on locks. I loved sharing helpful information. But this was years ago, but I also saw longevity in where I wanted to go versus what I was doing at the time. Right? So that's what it's really about. And it's about us being honest with ourselves, to be really honest. All right, guys, let me see. I'm going to do one more and then we're going to log off. This one. Should I do this one? I'm going to be live doing some more soon. But if you go to cameraconfidencecards.com, you'll get all the information that you need to pre-order. This one says, I am always thinking in abundance when it comes to my creativity, right? This card, y'all, is for my creatives. And when I say that, I mean the people who are really good with their hands, who are able to create anything that they desire to create. They're really good. The artists, the people that can make something out of nothing, but are so stuck in thinking, I'm good at this, so I'm not going to make money from it. Or, my grandmother used to do XYZ and she still struggled, so I know I can't make money from this. Or the people who are writers, authors, who are creators, even video creators in my space, or business owners. There is some aspect of creativity that tells you that you cannot live in abundance while being a creator. And I'm not speaking about creator on the level of like what we know as a creator now, like on YouTube, on Instagram, or an influencer. I'm speaking on the basis of creative beings who can make something out of nothing. And that's my audience. That's the people that I serve. People who are multi-passionate, can do multiple things. People who are, you put them in a room with something, they're going to make something and walk out. They know their purpose. They know they may not always be listening to their purpose or executing based on their purpose, but they know that they were meant for great things. Those are my people. And so sometimes you think abundance is not attached to that. And I'm here to tell you that it is. It is. Okay. It's definitely attached to it. And so if you're sitting there thinking it's not possible, I want you to know that it is. It's just that you have to put yourself out there. There's no way for someone to come into your home and see you and love what you do and think you are amazing, and then everything in life changes. That was the old days when Mary J. Blige was in her apartment in Staten Island, and I can't remember if it was Andre Harrell or whoever came to her apartment to hear her sing. That was back in the day. That does not happen now. Things are very different now. The world operates differently now. You have to get out there like the newer entertainers and sing online so that people can see you and hear you and feel you. That part right there, the feel, F-E-E-L. Okay. So I'm always thinking in abundance when it comes to my creativity. That one for me was huge. I needed to shift my idea or understanding about what I was able to accomplish with my bare hands. All right. And I want to encourage you guys to think, differently, think the same. All right, guys, that's all of our cards for today. I hope this was helpful. I hope you just enjoyed hanging out with me. Like I said, I will be live so much more now that we have the cards out here. I'm so excited to continue growing this aspect of business. Okay, I'll stay on for a few questions because I see one from the Celebration Network. What platform do you use to film? I love the switching. I use Ecamm, guys. So Ecamm is one of the tools that I really love. If you're on my Instagram, just comment Ecamm under any one of my posts. It's ECAMM, and you'll see exactly what I use. And yeah, I use it to switch. I have two cameras set up here. I'm always sharing my studio, my recording studio, in my stories, and I share it sometimes on my accounts. If you're following me on Instagram, you'll see like my whole studio set up. Yes, Carolyn, Ecamm for the win. Anyone else have any questions before we get off? I'd love to just stay on and answer a few questions, but if not, y'all know I'm about to be out. It was so fun, like just being here. Lovely. Thanks for being so prompt, of course. If you have any questions, let me know. But if not, honey, I'm about to dip. Okay. What are y'all having for dinner? It is 6:45 here in Dallas, Texas. I don't know what I want to have. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know what I want. I got to eat something good though. Mentoring you. What podcast platforms do you suggest? Podcast platforms for recording. I like two platforms. I love Squadcast, which is connected to Descript for editing. And I also use Ecamm as well for podcasting. So I have a video on Squadcast on my YouTube channel. If you're following me on YouTube, Mentoring You LLC, you can see the whole, like everything about Squadcast. And I also have a really long, in-depth video about Ecamm as well. Claudia said she's having pho and chicken. Claudia, you fancy? Now I want some pho. Pho, sorry. I want some fun. That sounds kind of good. Stories by Desiree said, thank you for this live. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to slide into my DMs. If you have any questions about our camera confidence cards, do not be shy. Slide into my DMs, ask me, and I will let you know. The only thing I think I want to share is that the cards has 50 cards. Sorry, the deck has 50 cards. So, you'll know, like, there's 50 cards in here, which means 50 affirmations, 50 prompts, right? Just so I wanted to share that because I think someone asked that in my DMs. Connecting with our daughters. Thank you so much for being here. It's so good. I feel like I met so many of you tonight on the live. And, some of you I talked to in the DMs. Some of you, I'm seeing you here tonight. So thank you for being here. Brandy said, you rock, girly. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you for being here. All right. I love you guys genuinely. I definitely don't play with that. I mean it when I say it. I appreciate you guys so much. Anakani said, love ya. I'm having coffee and Japanese snacks. Anakani, enjoy for me. Okay? Enjoy for me. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully, I will be live again because I definitely enjoyed this. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.